I'm Chris Orlando. I'm the CEO of ScaleMatrix, a brick and mortar data center operator with a number of facilities here in the US. And I'm also currently Chief Strategy Officer and co-founder of DDC Solutions. The company started years ago, decades ago, when my business partner and I were operating co-location facilities here in North America. But we thought that there needed to be a better way. And we thought that three things kind of stuck out as things we wanted to improve upon in our next venture in the data center industry. Those things were physical security, always important in the data center. Energy usage, right? We had to be efficient because energy is the largest cost driver in a data center. And then density. For the last 40 years, data centers operated pretty much the same way, where densities, didn't vary enough to impact the overall construction of a facility. But as artificial intelligence and similar technologies push the boundaries of what chip outputs can be, and we have to force ourselves to look and say, how do we plan and develop data centers differently? We like to sleep at night, right? We want to be able to be secure knowing that our facilities run as good as they can and have all the protections they have for our customers that are running in them. And so over that time, we just really tried to engineer out some of the failings that we saw in traditional data center design. And then you start to hear about this undertone from a new technology called AI, right? As we came out of COVID, this technology really started to take hold. Our partners, the folks at Nvidia and Supermicro, et cetera, were busy selling hardware into different companies that wanted to deploy artificial intelligence applications. And that's when we really started to see densities meaningfully change and increase significantly, not just logarithmically, but algorithmically.
My name is Keith Markley. I'm the CEO of DDC Solutions. Sort of an interesting set of events took place years ago where through some various meetings, somebody suggested that I should be meeting with this guy, Chris Orlando. He was doing some innovative work in Virginia at the time for a company that was doing sort of really the first GPU deployments. And at this point, we're talking 5-6 years ago. And Chris and I got to talking about how he was deploying and building data center architecture. And he had this small startup AI company who needed to have an environment. And we sort of were looking at this, and part of it was very, very, I would say, innovative and different, and required us having cabinets that could support 32 kW per cabinet, which many people at the time said wasn't possible and didn't work. Working with Chris and TierPoint, we built a custom-built GPU data center about 6 years ago for an AI company. And that small AI company has obviously grown substantially. And I became enamored with the technology and what could be done with it. So over the pursuing years, I think we probably installed 200 to 300 of these high-density cabinets in several locations throughout the United States. And we were watching the emergence of technology. Not only the concepts that people would be running at 40, 50 kW a cabinet, but would be running at 300, 400 kW a cabinet. And DDC as a technology company really started to look very exciting, and our partnership with them was very exciting. And what naturally you would expect to happen is Chris and his technology started attracting the attention of potential suitors. And in fact, suitors started to pursue his company. And at that time, it became of an interest for, and I think, really Jerry Kent with Sequel 3, and then eventually Jim Cooper with Thompson Street Capital Partners became interested as really a potential play in the, again, the deployment of AI GPU.
And you never really know what the densities are going to be inside the data center. So we had to build a platform that could keep up with whatever our customers were going to throw at us. The final evolution of that product was an 85 kilowatt product, our, at the time, then highest density product, which was well ahead of the market. And that put us in a position to win deals with customers who knew that density was going to be changing. They just didn't know when. Customers knew the only place they could find these cabinets and this revolutionary density capability was in ScaleMatrix facilities. And we used it as a differentiator. Customers like Nvidia and others who had high density requirements would seek out ScaleMatrix facilities here in the US to host high density applications. We kind of became known as the guys who could handle higher density. And from that effort, DDC was born. As the interested parties came to us and started asking about potential licensing deals and acquisitions, et cetera, we made the decision that we wanted DDC to be able to reach and solve as many problems globally as it could. And so we spun DDC Solutions out of our ScaleMatrix entity and started our own product company with it.
So we quickly found ourselves in a position at the time, and our investors were looking at, do we want to be the person that is in control of this technology, or do we want to be somebody who is purchasing the technology? I most certainly wanted to be involved, and be involved as the CEO of that business, because I just thought it was, don't want to put too much of a grin on my face, right in the middle of the game. And so there we are, and Chris and I had always gotten along just famously. We had done, I would say, 6 or 7 pretty large projects together. And Chris's viewpoint as a significant equity holder in the business concurred with Jerry and Jim, and thought that I would be the perfect fit, and of course that's where I wanted to be, so off to the races we went. Exciting times in our industry, and had a chance to join a fantastic team who I believe were the innovators, the first innovators of cooling technology for what I would call higher densities. We're right in the epicenter, and probably have as much knowledge, skill, and experience in the idiosyncrasies of building these environments and operating them as anybody that's out there. So while we tout our equipment and what we manufacture, and we tout the software and the capabilities of our software, I think the experience of our team is probably as valuable, because we've done it. We have just built many of these types of facilities now, and I don't believe there's too many people that can actually make that claim that are in the industry.